Oh my god, Amira from the new season of 90 Day Fiance flew to Mexico from France and she got detained and they, I guess, kept her. Holy crap, you guys, we have so much to talk about. The last episode of 90 Day Fiance was unreal and so much stuff went down, so let's not waste any time and just jump right into this one because, yeah, a lot of crazy drama happened, starting off with Amira and Andrew. Now, they're kind of a newer-ish couple. There they are right there. You know, whatever. We can get into their story, but what I want to talk about is the fact that, Andrew is in California, Amira is over in France, and she got the K-1 visa. She was so excited. She was happy. But the issue was the stay-at-home order and the border was basically closed in the U.S., and there was no way for her to come over to the U.S., but her man Andrew, according to 90 Day Fiance on the show, found a loophole for her to fly to Mexico, and he was going to fly to Mexico too. Then when they got to Mexico, they could meet and be happy and quarantine for 14 days, then fly on over to the U.S. However, everything was sunshine and rainbows until Amira flew to Mexico. She got there, and then guess what? Boo-hoo, she got detained. They kept her. They literally would not let her leave in Mexico. And if you're wondering, well, what? So what happened? Like, it's literally that unbelievable. What? And so what we know is Andrew landed in Mexico too. He came from California. He landed and he got a call from, we don't really know. It sounds like he got a message from Amira's parents, I believe. He wasn't really being too specific, but he got a message from someone saying that Amira landed and they detained her, and that's all he knew. And so Andrew just took his belongings, went to the resort, and he was clearly freaking out, and he was just like, what do I do? And he was trying to reach out to the people in France, and he was trying to reach out to her parents. And if you don't already know, in the last episode, we saw Amira's dad talk about Andrew, and let me just say, the words were not very, nice. He can't stand the guy. Amira's dad hates Andrew, so I'm sure this is probably just the icing on the cake for these two. I'm sure the dad just really cannot stand, Andrew now, and now we're kind of just sitting here waiting like, well, what happens? Does she have to quarantine? Where is she going to go? What are the living conditions going to be? If I had to guess, it sounds like from the previews I've seen that Amira has to quarantine and she is detained for 14 days. Then once the 14 days are done, I believe her and Andrew will be able to relink and rekindle and get together and go back to the States, I think. But I don't even know for sure. There is even a chance that she has to be detained and maybe, hey, go back to France. We don't know what is going to happen. So a lot of possibilities. Andrew has spoken out on social media and he does not seem happy at all with 90 Day Fiance and this entire process, and it doesn't seem like he's still with Amira, but I have no idea. Not a spoiler, I'm just guessing. So yes, Amira came to Mexico, she got detained, and things are not looking good for them. Definitely please comment below what you guys think of those two and what y'all think is going to happen. And if that wasn't enough drama, guess what? We have about a million other things that went down, starting off with a new couple. Boom, right there. Her name is Stephanie, his name is Ryan. Stephanie is from the great, the beautiful, the amazing, near my hometown, Grand Rapids, Michigan, of course. And Ryan's from like Belize or something like that. He's from overseas. And guess what? She is a very successful, if you can't tell, very successful. She's driving a freaking Maserati around and she's got a big house and everything. She owns 2 businesses. She owns 2 like skin beauty spas, I guess. And she makes a crap ton of money. She has never had kids, never been married that we know of, but she's really focused on her work. She's made a lot of money, and she met Ryan while on a vacation at a resort. He was like working there, and one thing leads to another, and then they got into a relationship. And I watched this thinking, you know what? What is wrong with this lady? She is attractive. Like, she's definitely not ugly. She's older, but she's an attractive lady. She has money. Why would she ever in a million years date this guy? Because if you don't know, Ryan basically appears to be doing pretty much nothing. And I don't want to say he's a complete lazy slob or anything like that, but more than likely, the guy's not doing much. And we have heard different tidbits here and there that she's sending him watches, and she's sending him this, and she's spending all this money. So more than likely, he is using her for her money. But in the episode, we got to meet Stephanie, got to meet Ryan, and we got to see Stephanie talk to her psychic, which, believe it or not, I actually know. I know that sounds really weird and probably not true, but I do. I don't know her personally. I know of her. One of my best friends is actually friends with her, which is just like so weird. Such a small town. Really bizarre. But yes, I know Maria Shaw. She was the psychic. She is actually really good. And so she was on the show. Really strange. And on that show, she was doing a card reading, which I loved, thought was cool. And that's when Maria was like, Maria basically just told her, hey, you know, I don't know if this is just my gut telling me or just my psychic senses, but I can tell Ryan is two things. Number one, the guy is using you. And number two, he has had some infidelity because there are like two women in his life. And okay, great, Stephanie, and he's probably cheating on her. Not hard to see. But the crazy part was after Stephanie got that reading, Stephanie did tell Maria, her psychic, that she actually has some skeletons in the closet. And guess what they are? After she was in Belize some time ago, her and Ryan got into a fight. One thing led to another. They temporarily broke up, and while they were broken up, like, you know, an hour or two after, she got with, oh, guess who? Yeah, Ryan's cousin. She did God knows what in a romantic fashion with Ryan's cousin about an hour or so after she broke up with Ryan, and Ryan never, ever found out. I mean, let me just reiterate this. She broke up with Ryan, or Ryan broke up with her. They broke up as a couple for like an hour or so, like at complete most, like 24 hours. They were not broken up for very long. She wanted to get back at Ryan, and she did God knows what in a romantic fashion with his cousin. And she completely admitted it on national TV. So I was just watching this thinking, oh my God, number one, this lady is completely crazy. She kind of honestly reminds me of like David, a much more attractive version of David, because she has money. So did David, and she's being used. So did David, and she seems kind of crazy, just like David. And when I say David, I mean David and Lana. But yeah, okay, like I said, there was a lot of drama, so I can only imagine what is going to happen with these two. It does sound like I don't even know if he's coming to America or if she's going there. He would likely be coming over here to America, but I don't even know. This Stephanie lady, she seems out of her mind. She seems crazy. She's talking here, she's talking there. Most of the stuff she says, it doesn't even make much sense, to be honest. So I think we are going to be in for a treat with those two, and we just got to see a snippet last night, and it was already really good. So definitely, please feel free to comment below what you think of those two, but I mean, come on. It does not look good. Now let's fast forward over to a little bit more of a familiar face. I know the other two couples, they're new. We haven't seen much of them, but this couple, oh, we've seen a ton of, and guess who it is? Rebecca and Ziad. And on last night's episode, guess what? Oh my God, let's throw a party. Ziad's visa got approved to come over to America, and the stupidest thing about this is I believe it was already approved. He was approved and ready to go to come to America. He had one little sign-off, you know, little small stupid little meeting, and then he could come over. And I don't think it was much of anything. I think he was already approved. It was a done deal. He basically had to just walk in, answer a couple questions, and that was it. But, you know, Rebecca was crying. She was so nervous. She was, you know, this hysterical. Okay, Rebecca, cry me a river. Shut up. I'm sorry, but she is so annoying. But she was refreshing and refreshing and refreshing her screen on the website, and oh my God, you know, amazing. His visa got approved, I guess. So now he can come to America. She was all happy. He was happy, I guess. I don't even know. I honestly think at this point, when I was seeing Ziad talk to his mom and dad, I feel like at this point the guy's like, I think Rebecca's attractive enough, and he just wants a better life, and that is it. I don't think he's coming here, you know, to like he's like madly in love with this woman. Maybe, kind of, sort of, but he was telling his dad, and his dad was even saying, hey, you know, if you marry her, stay married to her. So I don't think he's gonna come here and run off or anything scandalous like that. I just think he's just like, hey, I can get a better life, I can make more money, and I can live a better life if I come to America. I don't even know if that's true, probably, but it's still, so I just think he's completely using her, and Rebecca is a complete moron. But, you know, they seem to really like each other. I think she definitely likes him more, considering that her credit card and her bed comforter and about a million other things have Ziad's big face on it. But you know what? He does seem to kind of like her somewhat, sort of, too. So yes, Ziad's visa did get approved, and he's going to be coming on over over to America very soon. Now let's go over to Mike and Natalie, and oh my god, this is not a question, this is a demand from me. Sorry to sound bossy, but this is a serious demand. I want to hear from you guys, so please, 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 comment below what you think of Natalie. But for those of you guys that did not see it, holy crap, that's why I'm so curious what you guys think, but I feel like she's just out of her mind, and she's so rude, like, oh my god, I can't even just describe it, like every little thing. Now Mike, he's not probably, the most prepared for her, you should say. But it's one of those things where it's like, you know what? Why on earth did you two not put your head together, and why did Mike not go out and buy her some groceries? Because she gets there. Okay, number one, she's freezing. She's mad how cold it is. Supposedly Mike lives in the next best thing to like a trailer, and the walls are really thin, and she's clearly upset. So she's just mad from the get-go. She's freezing. Then she goes in the fridge, and there's nothing but junk food, which that's why I just go back to Mike and Natalie. Why didn't Natalie just tell Mike, hey, can you buy me a couple carrots and some health food? And then boom, that problem solved. But he didn't buy her any food, supposedly. So the next day, they're making French toast, and of course, Natalie is a health freak, and so she doesn't want to eat the French toast. I get it. So she eats a carrot, and she's mad, and she's uncomfortable. But right from the get-go, she tells the cameras that, hey, I'm mad, and I'm uncomfortable that Mike did not plan anything whatsoever for me. So boom, right there, she's mad and complaining, and probably even near, tears. Then Mike drives her around town, and he shows her the town within like 10 minutes. I thought this town was going to be like a wee, very, very bitty small town with like, nothing. I thought it was going to be one of those kind of towns where they have like a saloon and this and maybe a tiny little barbershop. Okay, Natalie, cry me a river, and once again, shut up. It's not one of those towns where they have like 500 people and there's like literally nothing but a party store and a little bar. No, this is a small town, but it's not like freaking that small. It's not like New York, but it's not that small. I saw they had a Rite Aid and a Burger King and a bunch of fast food, and they had a bunch of grocery stores, and they just had a bunch of stuff, and they had some shopping. Now, like I said, it's not New York City. We're not in Manhattan, but it's not that small. But Natalie, she's used to a ginormously huge city, and so she was complaining, and then she actually went on to even start crying because she was just so mad that she was like, what am I going to do when you are away at work? I can't drive. I have nothing to do. What am I supposed to do? And I get that. I totally understand. But it's not like someone brainwashed her and just threw her over in America and said, okay, here you go. And now she's like, well, what do I do? You knew what you were doing. You know of a thing called Google. You know of a thing called FaceTime and Skype. He could have showed you this town, and you knew 100% that he has a job and that he's going to be gone for the majority of the time working. So shut up. Why does she not, she's acting like all this stuff is new information. Natalie, you knew everything. So she was mad. She was hysterically crying, and she's acting like she wants to leave. I have heard a spoiler. I'm not going to say it just yet, but I've heard a spoiler, and I don't know. These two seem just not like a great fitting couple. I kind of feel like Natalie just wants everything. She wants a man that'll be there 24/7. She wants a bunch of fun activities. She wants to go hiking. She wants to go shopping. She wants to do this, that, and the other. And unfortunately, they live in a smallerish town, wherever. So it's like she's not happy. And I kind of get it, but still, you knew what you were getting yourself into. Why did you come here if you hate it so much? So I kind of feel like Natalie is just a chronic complainer. She is constantly complaining. And for me personally, it really is annoying. But like I said, seriously, you guys, please put in the comments below. I'm so curious if I'm just I don't know, rude, or if she really is truly that annoying. So definitely comment below what y'all think of Mike and Natalie. And surprisingly, we have two more couples that we have not talked about. We get to see one of my oh my god, kind of hated, most bizarre couples of this season, and that is Jovi and Yara. And I'm telling you, if, Natalie didn't cry and complain enough, okay, Yara, she just did enough for the whole show, because it is just unbelievable. I don't know what is wrong with Yara. I don't know why she is constantly complaining like Natalie. But this person, Yara, holy crap, she never stops. Long story short, Jovi and Yara went to a furniture store because, number one, Yara was sick and tired of the furniture Jovi has, which, to my eyes, doesn't seem that bad. Maybe I'm just easygoing, but I just say, hey, you got nice furniture. Doesn't, who cares? Because my think is just, hey, who's footing this bill? If Joey is buying everything, then Yara, you can shut up. Once again, you can shut up. So, I mean, I get it. If she's going to pay for some of this stuff, then hey, fantastic. But they go out because Yara hates all of the furniture. So they go out to buy a mirror. Then they're at a furniture store and Yara sees a rug and a new bed and a this, that, and the other. And Joey, he wasn't even mad about the bill. That was the funniest part. I'd be mad about the money. He was mad about just the design and the look and feel. He was like, I don't want that white fluffy rug in my apartment. And Yara heard that and she got furious and she got mad and she stormed out. And I kind of sort of understand why she's mad, kind of, but it's still like, okay, I can only assume that Joey is paying 100% of the rent. He likely bought all of the furniture in the first place, and he likely was going to buy all this new furniture. So it's like, if that's his stuff that he paid for, it is technically kind of his. Now, hey, you guys can call me rude and evil and whatnot in the comments all you want, but that is just how I see it. So they were at the furniture store, they were fighting, Yara was constantly complaining. They got back to their apartment, and what did Joey tell Yara? He said, no, don't worry, I'll just get you all the stuff. And the funniest thing was, she was still kind of somewhat mad. She wasn't like all like happy and smiling. She was still just like, she wouldn't give him a hug, and she was still being rude. So I think Yara is right there with Natalie, just a chronic complainer. And while we are on the topic of complainers, well, we got another one because we have Brandon and Julia. And in the last episode, yeah, things were not looking too great for them because they came back from DC. They picked up Julia in DC. Now they're bringing her back to their home, and they showed her this infamous farm where they did kind of just throw Julia in this farm and said, hey, you have to help out and work. I will say though, if Julia is living at his parents' house rent-free, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to say, hey, for a few hours a week, you can help out and pitch in and do some chores around the farm. I don't think that's that bad. But Julia, she was not happy. So she toured the farm. Number one, she completely is terrified of animals. So I don't know why or how she's planning on working on a farm. And number two, she even admitted it. I want to work in a fun, exciting work environment, and I don't think this is going to be fun or exciting. I mean, I will say though, it's like she's living there rent-free, and the other thing too is she won't even be allowed to work for quite some time. So it's kind of like what I said about Yara and Natalie. You know what? Just shut up. But, my whole take with this thing is, if you want to live by your own rules, Julia and Brandon, you gotta move out. Because after they toured the farm, they ended up having dinner, and then they showed Julia her bedroom. Julia was completely uncomfortable. She does not want to sleep in her own bedroom. I don't get why it's such a big deal at this point. It's like you're living in his parents' house. They should have the rules. That's my take. And if you don't like their rules, get out and find somewhere else to live. And so basically at dinner, Brandon, yet again, the spoiled brat Brandon that he appears to be, he brought up this stupid room situation yet again, and his parents were just like, no, this is final, this is our say, this is our house, and if you can't live by these rules, that's it. So I don't know if they're going to move out. I don't know. I do think this is going to get super, super, super awkward very soon, because it's like you can just see that tension with Julia and Brandon's mom. It's not looking good, and it's like they have all these issues. Just move out. So yeah, a lot of moving parts, a lot of craziness, and we did not get to see Tariq and Hazel. Boo-hoo, kind of sucks. And I think that was it, unless we were forgetting another couple. But yeah, we got to see the two new couples and a couple of the other couples we didn't get to see. So kind of sucks. But holy crap, there was a lot of drama. Well, guys, I just cannot believe everything that went down in the last episode. It is shocking how much drama and just how crazy these people are. Where does 90 Day Fiance find half these people? So, yeah, a lot of craziness. Definitely looking pretty good, though. So, guys, please feel free to comment below your thoughts. Let me know what you thought of the last episode. Let me know what you think of all this drama, all this craziness. I am dying to hear. And also, you guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, comment below your thoughts, hit the subscribe button, and y'all better stay tuned for many more videos.